Coming up on the Channel 4 News Nightcast, hundreds of people have to get out as an ammonia leak fills the air with fumes. For people in Panama, relief is on the way.
2 East European nations shed even the name of communism. We have some hints for reviving those frost-bitten ficus trees, and the out-of-town teams get a look at Miami nightlife.
All this and live reports from Panama and New Orleans. Next on the Channel 4 News Nightcast.
It's New Year's celebration time at your Hyundai dealer. With all new 1990 models, new Sonatas, new Wicks today, before the New Year's celebration is over.
At Steak and Ale, we live by this promise. Your steak will be this tender and juicy every time. Steak and Ale announces news of prime importance. Our prime rib special for just $8.95. Our famous prime rib, baked potato, and salad bar, just $8.95. Every Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night at Steak and Ale.
The Mazda race to the record is almost over. We said we'd do whatever it took to set an all-time sales record, and we're almost there. But the race isn't over yet. There's still time to get record-setting deals, including savings of up to $1,000 on 626 and MX-6. But hurry, the Mazda race to the record will soon be over. At your Dade Broward Mazda dealer, now.
This is WTVJ, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Susan Lichtman, Steve Abrams, Cliff Morrison, weather, Tony Segreto, sports, Yolanda Gaskins, entertainment. This is the Channel 4 News Nightcast.
Good evening. It has been a cold night for hundreds of people evacuated from a factory and a trailer park in South Broward because of a gas leak.
Channel 4 News reporter Beverly White is in Pembroke Park.
Beverly, we understand a lot of people got a rude welcome when they arrived.
Holding the help.
Around 6 p.m., one by one, they found out they couldn't go home when confronted by sheriff's deputies.
We just pulled in. They said the cloud was here. They wanted us to leave, so we're going to head over to a friend's house, I guess.
It's extremely toxic. They tell me that it can be fatal if it's breathed, and it causes blistering and burns to the skin.
This Coca-Cola employee, identified as John Popoff, was treated and released at Hollywood Memorial Hospital for burns to the upper arm. Firefighters say there could have been many more injuries if employees hadn't responded so quickly.
We received a call as an explosion, but when we got here, we haven't been able to get inside to really determine it. We can't determine it until after it was cleared and we can get in and investigate it.
Most neighbors didn't seem to mind the inconvenience of an evacuation. At the same time, one man told us he could tell there was no need to rush.
They're not wearing gas masks. I don't think we'll have to worry about it either.
Now, it's business as usual now at the Coca-Cola plant. Just within the last half hour, the last firefighters departed, meaning they have ventilated the building and everything inside is now safe. The evacuation order itself was lifted after about 2 hours, so all those folks who were told to leave their homes at about 5:30 or 6 are now back inside. See, Susan, Steve?
Thanks, Beverly.
There has been another ammonia leak tonight, this one in Miami. Firemen have cordoned off an area near Northeast 6th Avenue and 18th Street because of a small ammonia cloud coming from Southeast Seafoods. The area is mostly industrial and most businesses are closed tonight, so this leak in Miami isn't causing any widespread evacuation.
South Floridians are coming to the rescue of their Latin American neighbors. Panamanian relief efforts in high gear tonight. From small private donations to multi-thousand-pound offerings of rice and canned goods from big Latin food chains, all of it making its way to the crowded parking lot of WQBA Radio, which is the local clearinghouse for these supplies.
This is what it shows that we all get together, we all bind together for one cause, liberty, democracy, and the future of our countries.
Some 35 tons of supplies will take off for Panama tomorrow morning aboard a 727 donated by Eastern Airlines. But judging by the response, additional flights may be necessary.
And Miami isn't the only city rallying to help Panama.
Channel 4 News reporter Jose Diaz-Balart is on the phone with us live from Panama City. Jose, how badly are the supplies needed there?
Susan, Steve, we've been touring makeshift refugee camps here all day, and I've got to tell you that that plane coming in from Miami with supplies is desperately needed.
The planes loaded up with food and medicine from Miami will be joined in Panama by at least 4 others from different parts of the world. The U.S. invasion and the widespread looting that followed has virtually wiped out this country's food reserves.
Well, the situation right now is very critical. We need food, we need medicine, all the help we can get. There has been a lot of damnified people here in Panama that have lost their houses, and there's a lot of wounded people. The hospitals don't have any medicine at all, and basically we need a lot of help.
Food and medicine from all parts of the world has already started arriving here in Panama City, but if you come to the warehouse where all the food is being stored, you'll see a lot more is needed. Outside the warehouse, U.S. soldiers maintain a 24-hour guard. The streets of Panama City are, for the most part, quiet, but not abandoned. The bravest souls ventured out for the first time since the invasion to eat at only one of a handful of restaurants open. Longtime resident Edwin Rochel says he feels the danger here in Panama is over.
Well, we feel safe, and we wanted to go out to eat. It seems very safe. You probably don't see more cars out here because they don't recommend that you go out, but they haven't told you you couldn't.
But Rochel is in the minority. Many Panamanians say they won't feel safe walking the streets until General Noriega, still at the Vatican Embassy, is out of the country and out of the picture.
And tonight, Noriega remains in that embassy. The new Panamanian government says it is now reviewing a little-known treaty signed with the U.S. in 1904. Under the treaty, Noriega could be extradited to Miami if he falls in Panamanian hands. Of course, that remains to be seen. Steve, Susan?
All right, thank you, Jose. President Bush is on vacation this week, but he says he's keeping a close watch on the situation in Panama. He said today he is personally involved in the negotiations to get Manuel Noriega. However, he wasn't willing to make any predictions today.
I want to see this man who is under indictment brought to justice for poisoning the children of the United States of America and people around the world.
The president also called the military operation, quote, a superb effort in coordination. He said he was very pleased with the way it went. Susan?
Back home, a deadly discovery aboard an Eastern Airlines flight. The body of a 17-year-old boy from Barbados was found wedged inside the rear door of an Eastern jet, which had just arrived from the island. The airline says that part of the plane isn't pressurized or heated during flight, so he could have died from lack of oxygen or exposure. No one knows how he managed to sneak aboard that plane. The disappearance of a prominent Miami stockbroker under investigation tonight. Police say 45-year-old George Richard Kinsley was last seen 2 days ago as he drove to a gas station near his Brickell Avenue office. Kinsley is 190 pounds, salt and pepper hair. He wears dark prescription glasses. He was seen driving a four-door silver gray 1985 BMW. If you have any information about his disappearance, please call police. The disappearance of one-year-old Christine Houghton landed her father, Alan, in jail 7 months ago, charged with kidnapping, with child abuse and kidnapping. But tonight, Alan Houghton is a free man, found not guilty by a Broward jury. Houghton admits he took Christine to live in Texas and Kentucky because he suspected his daughter's natural mother was neglecting her. Houghton now says he'll go back to court to fight for visitation rights with his daughter. So far, no word from the girl's mother.
More big changes in the Eastern Bloc. Names are being changed to protect the newly free.
And the chill outside is taking its toll. Bad news for gardeners is good news for South Florida citrus growers.
And right now, Tony is here with a preview of sports.
What a night. Sugar Bowl, Orange Bowl, and basketball is what we have on tap. Ned Smith will join us live from New Orleans with a wrap-up of what the Miami Hurricanes did today. They practiced and they partied on the Mississippi tonight. And then we'll tell you what New Orleans thinks of the Hurricanes. That's all coming up later as the Nightcast continues.
You take a lot of pictures during the holidays and you want your prints back now. So go to Accurate Express Photo. Just drop off your film and in no time at all, it's done.
Accurate Express Photo 1 hour processing. Nothing looks better.
You know, I own this tie. Why are Accurate Express photo prints so...
And Buffaloes are working their way into town for Monday's big game. We will have a look. Plus, hammers are hammering and saws are sawing as preps go on for the King Orange Jamboree. You stay right there.
He was the perfect man.
He did everything a woman would want a man to do.
He wined and dined her.
He always had...
Master. And I make that resolution every and it works for a couple of months.
After Johnny on Late Night with David Letterman, Dave welcomes Frank Gifford and filmmaker Michael Moore.
Folks, please be careful. The plate is very hot.
Coming up later tonight.
A top official of Romania's new government declared today that Romania is no longer a communist country. And at the same time today, the hunt continued for soldiers still loyal to the old government. While the streets appear calm, officials are combing the tunnels that lie beneath Bucharest. It's thought that hundreds, maybe even thousands of loyalists are hiding in the passageways. The new government has given them until tomorrow to turn themselves in or face a firing squad when they're caught. They've also changed some rules. An abortion ban was repealed. Romanians no longer have to call each other comrade, and it's no longer a crime to criticize the government. Meanwhile, many Romanians are still remembering the horror of the Ceausescu regime. Many of their countrymen are being buried this week, and for their families, it's not much consolation, knowing that their loved ones were among Ceausescu's last victims. And if Romania is no longer a communist country, Poland doesn't even have the same name it used to have. The government announced it will now simply be called the Republic of Poland, dropping the name People's Republic, tacked on after World War II.
A major earthquake rocked the southeast coast of Australia tonight, crushing homes and trapping people inside cars. At least 4 people are dead, scores injured in the town of Newcastle. The quake hit 5.5 on the Richter scale, not nearly as strong as the one in San Francisco last October, but it was felt across the state of New South Wales. Florida's brutal Christmas freeze has devastated much of the state's vegetable and citrus crop. The town of Immokalee, is that correct? Immokalee, which depends on crops for its very existence, was ravaged. No vegetables, no jobs. In northern Florida, some 40% of the citrus crop was destroyed, and with the shortages come higher prices. Strawberries have already tripled. In South Florida, heaviest damage, tropical plants, the kind many people have in their yards. Landscape nurseries were also hurt, but owners say with care, their plants and yours can survive the brown burn.
Even if the foliage is brown and looks dead, that's protecting the new growth. So do not do any trimming absolutely for 4 to 6 weeks.
Plant experts advise you to keep frozen plants well watered and don't trim any frozen plants for 4 to 6 weeks. While the cold weather caused a lot of damage to vegetables and tropical plants, it may have actually helped South Florida's citrus. It wasn't cold enough here to cause any damage. In fact, it was just cold enough to sweeten the fruit. And with citrus crops further north all but wiped out, South Florida's crop is not only sweeter, but more valuable.
The cold weather is causing problems for some of our animal friends, too. We'll have those stories coming up.
But you'll warm up a bit if you add 426 on your Cash 3 Florida lottery ticket today. Good luck. We'll be right back.
Tonight's Channel 4 weather is brought to you by your local South Florida Ford dealers.
You wouldn't want to send a sea turtle out on nights like we've been having, and here is why. They can't take the cold, like the little guys who were pulled out of the ocean near Cape Canaveral. Wildlife officials say the tiny sea turtles were stunned by the cold, and at least 23 of them drowned. The survivors are at SeaWorld now in warm water tanks.
Is that near Immokalee?
Near Immokalee, right next to
Boy, I butchered that. I'm sorry. I apologize, all of you Immokalee residents. Hi, Cliff.
It's getting warmer. Let me show you. Let me take. Now we're going to look down the road to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday real quickly here. Up to maybe perhaps 73 tomorrow, okay? Mid-70s by Friday and the upper 70s by Saturday. That's the game plan so far. Currently, we have partly cloudy skies. Miami's 54. Chilly out there. Miami Beach, 58. We had almost a 10-degree drop since the 6 o'clock broadcast. Kendall, 51. Fort Lauderdale's 55. Pompano Beach, 53. And Key West, 57. The barometer's rising. Relative humidity, 83%. Winds are from the west now at 5. And the surf at Miami Beach. The water temperature this afternoon, 70 degrees. Moderate air quality for both counties today. The record high today, 73. We made it to 71. The record low, 41. And the next sunrise, 7:06. High tide at the Port of Miami, 8:16. Weather watcher tonight from Atlanta, Georgia. A story about a duck whose name we do not know. He couldn't get his webbed feet beneath the pond's ice and snow. But then friends arrived, they did. The duck saved by rope as he skid to safety. And he's with his buddies tonight. They expect more freezing weather for our friends out there again tomorrow. Warmer air, though, coming up in the, I'd say generally the Midwest, and that will make things feel a little more comfortable. It's from the return off that high pressure. Some cold air is coming also in the northern plains and into the Dakotas and parts of Montana. Since the jet stream is going to be flattening out a little bit, we don't expect this to be a major weather factor for us toward the weekend. So we don't think it's going to be another cold blast for us. 37, though, the high in Chicago. New York will have 32 for the high, 40 in Washington, 57 in Atlanta, 66 in Dallas, Fort Worth. They might get a shower or two south of that. Seattle looks cloudy, San Francisco partly cloudy, and a clear 63 for Los Angeles. For us right now, just some scattered cloud cover. We see no rain on the radar. what we do have is this high pressure that's going to be with us, I'd say, for the next day or so. We'll have northeasterly winds tomorrow, and as this settles in, we'll just wait for that next cold front to come by, but I think by the time it gets down to our state, it will only mean some cooler weather and a chance of rain for the northern part of the state over the weekend. Overnight lows in the 40s, close to 53 in Key West. Tomorrow's high temperatures should be in the low 70s for the most part, but it could be a little better than that. Friday, we see a high of 74, sunshine all the way through the weekend with a slight warming trend. What a way to bring in the new year. Okay, here it is for tomorrow, sunny and mild, a little bit warmer, low in the 70s, and the low temperature will be 48 to 53. The marine forecast shows northeast winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. The bay and inland waters will have a light shock. That is it. That is it. Enjoy your day tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely beautiful.
Okay. Thanks, Cliff.
We're going to find out why author James Michener is fascinated with travel. His latest book is a sea of fascinating facts.
And football bowl teams take a fun time out before the big games when we come back.
It's big, it's now. It's Pontiac's all-out excitement closeout. Now with our longest-term 4.8% finance rate ever on Grand Prix. That's right. Now every new Grand Prix is available with long-term 4.8% financing. Or get your share of millions in cash back on Grand.
If you love to surround yourself in beauty, you belong in the world of Estee Lauder. Visit your Estee Lauder beauty advisor, and with your choice of $12.50 or more, we'll treat you to this gift, including luscious cream mascara and a lipstick. Estee Lauder. Live in our world. This gift is yours through January 6th at Lord & Taylor.
While others are raising prices, Volkswagen announces no price increase. That means our 1990 Fox is priced the same as last year's model. You get a powerful 1.8-liter engine, plus a long list of standard features you might not expect to find in a car of this class, all for the same price as last year. That's Volkswagen value. The 1990 Fox. It's time to think about Volkswagen again.
Until December 31st, visit your South Florida Volkswagen dealer for special year-end deals on select 89 models.
Tonight's Channel 4 Sports is brought to you by your Volkswagen dealer. Test drive the exciting new 1990 models. See for yourself why it's time to think about Volkswagen again.
The Notre Dame and Colorado football teams will be putting on a show of their own Monday night, but while they are waiting to play, they are getting in some play time of their own. Tonight, the Fighting Irish went to the Seaquarium, maybe to see some fighting fish, but at least to glimpse a dolphin or two, the kind that don't wear uniforms. At the same time, the Colorado Golden Buffaloes were checking out lions that don't come from Detroit. These would be the lions that put on their act with famed tamer Gunther Gable-Williams at tonight's rehearsal of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus at the arena downtown.
And of course, the Hurricanes are in New Orleans, but they wouldn't be out partying. They'd be in their hotel rooms reading that playbook, wouldn't they?
No. Tonight they're still partying. Tonight they're still partying. And the University of Miami football team had a little bit of fun and did lots of hard work earlier in the day on their first full day in New Orleans. Ned Smith joins us live from there now. And Ned, what kind of fun did the Hurricanes have tonight?
Well, I tell you what, Tony, you know, it's hard for me to talk about this because it chokes me up, as you can tell. But, you know, the Hurricanes went rolling down the river tonight, New Orleans style. Let's show you what happened tonight as the Miami Hurricanes, the team took the showboat right of the Creole Cajun Queen. They even got a sneak peek at the UPI National Championship Trophy, which they hope to receive January 2nd. The players enjoyed Cajun cooking buffet style and got some entertainment during the whole dinner. The whole event lasted about 2 hours. Now, this whole Sugar Bowl week will last the entire week and wrap up on, of course, on Monday night. But the locals here, some of them can't wait for the kickoff, while others aren't sure what's even going on.
The home of Dixieland Jazz seems to be a place that really begins to light up during Sugar Bowl week.
It's wild. It gets crazy. The kids go wild. They're climbing on the poles and jumping off the balconies.
Well, Sugar Bowl week normally will be a line to the piano bar, all the way to the door, a constant line coming in and a constant line going out, with everything packed to the gills.
But what would a visit to New Orleans be without a visit to Bourbon Street to get a taste, if you will, of what this city is all about and how they feel about the Sugar Bowl? Big question is, what are the two teams playing in the Sugar Bowl?
Alabama and I don't know the other team. Well, I know Alabama's here, but I don't know who the other team is.
At first glance, you would think all of Bourbon Street was rooting for Miami. Why, part of Bourbon Street is even Hurricane City. They've got to be big fans.
No, it just means that we make the best hurricane on Bourbon Street.
Do you happen to know what the two teams are playing in the Sugar Bowl?
No, I don't know yet.
Don't know the teams?
No.
Have they announced them yet?
Not that I know of.
Well, as you can tell, not everybody knows what's going on. Right now, we're at the team headquarters here in New Orleans. The jazz band is taking a break, and we're watching and keeping notes of which guys are headed out to Bourbon Street. We'll let you know about that later on. I'm Ned Smith reporting live from New Orleans. Back to you, Tony.
Ned, I hope you feel better. I'll see you in New Orleans tomorrow. Remember now, if you get a hurricane drink, you get to keep the glass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
I need that. I need
Okay,
glass.
as we showed you just a few minutes ago, the Colorado football team was enjoying a night out at the circus. You know, it's little stints like this that keep the players' minds off the biggest game of their young careers. You know, Colorado is a focused bunch, sort of on a mission to win it all. But mixed in with all the hard work is a bit of fun now and then.
I'm having fun. Especially last night, you seen the Queens Court. Yeah, all the fun in the world. But basically, we just, come here and have a nice time and try to win the national championship.
All right, the University of Miami basketball team back in action after an 8-day layoff tonight. They were in West Palm Beach for the Palm Beach Classic against Lehigh. Joe Wiley showing his force. Big slam here on the break. Canes opened up a 6-point lead in the first half. Jake Morton with the easy bucket. But Lehigh went on a 19-10 second-half run, spiked by Mike O'Hara, and that's the way it looks. Miami loses big to Lehigh, 83-59. Well, the Miami Heat begins their longest road trip of the season tomorrow night in Denver, one of 6 straight road games. The hottest team in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs, found Smokey Bear and the Washington Bullets trying to put out their fire. Spurs have won 6 straight. Spurs big men can run the court. Watch David Robinson, Mo Cheeks, Willie Anderson for the slam. Robinson finished with a season-high 34. Spurs win their 7th straight over the Bullets. The final, 107-97. Elsewhere, Indiana over Orlando, Detroit a winner over Cleveland, Minnesota 108, Houston 91, and Dallas over Atlanta 114-101. And that'll do it for sports. I'm on my way to
New Orleans.
Gee,
Make sure you have
bad.
some breakfast at Brennan's.
Oh, I have reservations for Friday morning.
Oh, do you really?
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, I'm very glad to hear it. Unfortunately, we
I'll
won't be
think
there
of you.
enjoying it with you. Thanks,
Okay,
honey.
then.
Have a great trip.
From the romance and excitement of the South Pacific to the history of Chesapeake Bay, author James Michener has taken us with him around the world. Now, Channel 4 News reporter Yolanda Gaskins tells us that Michener takes us on a jaunt around an area closer to here, the picturesque Caribbean.
The life of a writer, traveling the world recounting tales of its people and beauty. Such is the life of James A. Michener, the orphaned child who knew quickly that the dead-end road outside his front door was really an invitation to explore.
And I decided very early that having covered the 1/4 mile to the end of the road, I was going to cover all the rest of the road to the west.
And that he's done. From Africa to Alaska, he's seen a lot of the world and written about most of it. Now the 81-year-old author's sense of adventure has led him to the Caribbean, and he shares his well-traveled insight with his readers.
They will never look at the Caribbean the way they did before when they finish reading this book. They will see it as a much more complex body of water, a much lovelier body of water, and one filled with historical characters that they didn't know about.
Michener has already begun research for his next book, a process that can take years to complete. And once he's finished a project, there's little time or desire to return.
I've never wanted to go back for the reason that when I'm through one of my big books, I have said everything I know. I have said everything that I'm entitled to say. I've done it, and I couldn't go back and do it again.
Yolanda Gaskins, Channel 4 News.
That's our show. Thanks for being with us. Next local news, 6:30 tomorrow morning.
And we'll see you again tomorrow night. Take care.